What's up, guys? Iceman here. Welcome to Meditations. Appreciate you for coming by. Like this video if you will, subscribe to the page, and hit that bell so you're notified next time I post a video. So there's been a lot to unravel as of the past few months. Check out my channel if you haven't seen my previous videos. The Millennial Kingdom. That's right, something that I only heard of a few years ago, ironically from the Jehovah's Witnesses of all things. Now, I don't like that movement. There's a lot of faults in it, to my understanding. A lot. But they did point out the Millennial Kingdom, something that I never heard of, and it's in the Bible. 1,000-year reign of Jesus. This, that, and the third, Now then I dismissed the Jehovah's Witness movement, but I took a couple things along with me. I was like, that's interesting. 1,000-year reign, wow. It's like, that's going to be a good time. I'm really looking forward to it. Where maybe it'll be like what it was in the Garden of Eden, No more sweating of the brow. No more toil through the thorns. No more suffering. That sounds good. Where are you at, Jesus? You know what I mean? It's kind of what my thoughts were on that. But then the whole Millennial Kingdom already happening theory came to my mind from watching some videos on YouTube. And all of a sudden, it started making more sense. It's like, oh, well, no wonder then. That's why Jesus said, some of you standing here will not see death before my return. He's talking to the disciples. Apparently that was for real. We try to explain that away with modern day theology. And who knows how wrong that could be. Look how bad the theology was back when Jesus came to the earth. They thought he was the devil himself. They thought he had nothing to do with their scriptures, but apparently he was the fulfillment of them. How much more off could these church leaders be today in their interpretations of the Bible, and how misled could things be? Probably intentionally, by design. So they say that already happened, right? And Jesus was like, you won't make it through all the towns of Israel until all these things come to fruition. He said, this generation will not pass. You know what I mean? Now, whether or not you believe in all that, that's fine. But it puts us in a weird place, right? Like if that millennial kingdom already happened, what are we doing now? What's going on? They say that we're in that phase in Revelation 20 where Satan has been unbound for a little while to deceive the nations once more. It sure does seem to me that the nations are being deceived, doesn't it? You look at entertainment, academia, media, all the shit they put in our food, just all the constant brainwashing and deception that just seems to be a bottomless pit. You can't go anywhere without it being in your face. You know what I'm saying? You can't even play a video game without all this Marxist social engineering garbage in your face constantly. It's crazy. You got to pretty much be Amish or something. You got to go live out in the woods in a little cabin and just not have any electronics to be away from it. But then I started thinking, well, okay, if this is how it is, if that whole millennial reign already happened, if there's no big moment coming where all of a sudden we're going to see it all lit up in the sky, if that already happened, and we're the descendants thereafter, perhaps the world being recycled, or sons and daughters of, I don't know, those who took the mark of the beast or something like that. What's going on right now? And part of me thought, well, Jesus is coming again. Yeah, we'll be here again soon. We're going to be able to escape this madness and suffering. But then I thought, as good as that sounds, what if that's not how things are ordained? How is that going to be the refiner's fire if we just get zapped away from this world? You know, this place has meaning, you know what I mean? Just like how Jesus had to suffer. I mean, on the cross, and he say, Father, or Abba, why have you forsaken me? We're talking about Jesus saying this. Isn't he one with God? You know how desolate you must feel to say something like that if you're like apparently one with God or whatever? He questioned the whole thing apparently. It's like, why have you forsaken me? Is this it? What an odd thing, huh? But to my dismay and dissatisfaction, I can't help but wonder if the kingdom of heaven really is at hand. You know what I mean? If, like, it's in the midst of us, and we just have to turn and be healed, and that's the problem. How the hell do you turn and be healed? Some say you have to lose your life to find it. In fact, Jesus said that, didn't he? I, for one, have a lot that I hang on to. Like, didn't he say that to the rich guy who came up to him? What do I do to inherit the kingdom of heaven? And Jesus said, sell all your things and follow me. And he turned around and walked away because it was just too much. He couldn't give up his flesh. I mean, who could? I know that I don't know if I can. But, I just can't help but wonder if there's something more going on here than what meets the eye. There's some sort of internal, eternal thing. Like how he says, or how it's like a New Testament thing, right? Where don't walk in the flesh, but walk in the Spirit. Be sons and daughters of light or whatnot. But one of the most startling things that is fuel for this case, that it's not just going to whoosh and happen, is that thing in Luke 17. And I have it right here in front of me, NASB 1995, where Jesus said to those disciples, he said, nor will they say, look, here it is, or there it is. For behold, the kingdom of God is in your midst. He's talking about what seems to be a later time and how it's going to be. The whole perception of the kingdom of God. And with our current iteration of it, it is something where you're going to be like, oh, look, here it is. There it is. Yeah, we're in it. Yaha. Jesus came in the sky. There he is. We're here. The kingdom of God. New heaven, new earth. But no, it doesn't seem that way according to this. There's not going to be the look, here it is. It's almost as though it's sort of a spiritual, internal awakening, where this world can rot and decay and recycle over and over again. But there's a transformation within, is maybe the thing of salvation, just like what he said to his disciples, how salvation is today. And it's a hard thing to want to swallow, because that's not how I envision it. You know what I mean? But it almost seems as though this is like something that we could maybe be slowly walking into, where your world, your perspective, your vision of it begins to change. as you seek, maybe, the kingdom of God. I don't know. And what is the kingdom of God? Probably a place to start is by following the most important two things, right? Isn't that what someone asked Jesus, what are the most important commandments? And he said, love the Lord your God with all your heart, all your mind, and all your soul. And the second is like it, to love your neighbor as yourself. He said all the law of the prophets hang on these two things. So, I mean, I guess that's a place to start. And I know that, especially with how the world is, with all these divisions, just like what it says in the last days, how sons will turn against their fathers and mothers, son-in-laws, daughter-in-laws will turn against their mother-in-laws, and father-in-laws. There'll be enmity within the household. Seems like that's what we're seeing today. And I know that I indulge in that. You know, I indulge in the judgment, the condemning of those around me who I don't agree with. You know what I mean? Like especially with all this political crap going on. And yeah, I do think there's a good way in terms of, you know, what my nation, for example, needs living in the United States. And there's a deceptive wrong way and all this and that, you know. But even with that mindset, are you going to love or are you going to hate? You know what I mean? Are you going to judge and condemn? Or are you going to accept and judge not and you will not be judged? You know, another thing that Christ said to the disciples. But yeah, what do you guys think about that? Is this whole... It's a confusing thing, this whole kingdom of heaven thing. And it's just weird how... like, for example, in Ecclesiastes, one of my favorite books is what I would say in the past. It does have those sayings about how there's nothing new under the sun, and that which is has already been. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all this stuff, perhaps it's like cycles. Maybe it's like the ages, that what we hear, what Jesus was talking about in terms of the end of the age. And then there's just another age after it. But I don't know. I mean, I assume that death, when we die, there's going to be a resurrection or something, isn't there? Unless that already happened too. It's all this stuff goes deep, which is why the basics are probably a good place to start. But I mean, let me know your thoughts on this in the comment below. Some people say that the whole kingdom of God thing is like a spiritual thing, and that's why that millennial kingdom already happened. Or maybe it's happening. I don't know. Maybe it's happening. We just have to perceive it. But if you will, like this video, subscribe to the page, and I'll see you in my next one. Peace be with you.